Yes. What is going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. So the Eagles beat the Green Bay Packers 40-33. I got to talk about this game. There's good things, there's bad things, but the Eagles still won at the end of the day. The Eagles win another week, 10-1. Fantastic. Let's get into it.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
What is going on, guys? This was the game that I really wanted offensively. Like, this was the game. Obviously, there was maybe a couple mistakes offensively, but I can't make a big deal about it because at the end of the day, this is how I wanted them to play. I mean, if I was to give out game balls, okay, Miles Sanders gets one, Jalen Hurts gets one, and definitely Reed Blankenship gets one, okay? But we'll talk about the defense later. But I got to say is this, okay? Jalen Hurts had a fantastic game today, broke the Eagles' rushing record for a quarterback. I think beat Michael Vick. It was like 158 yards on the day on top of 16 for 28, 153 yards, okay? Had a really good day today, okay? Hurts was asked a lot of today. Obviously, the compensation of Dallas Goedert not being on the field, they used Jalen Hurts' legs a little bit, and I felt like Green Bay just couldn't do anything against the run. Look who's talking, because our defense, was struggling against the run too today. But I felt like Hurts was using his legs a little bit more, and they got tired. They got so tired with that run game with Miles Sanders, okay? And Miles Sanders, what was it? Just fantastic today, 21 carries. I said 17 to 20 carries, at least try to get to that point where I'd want him to get high in carries because he could handle the workload, okay? Averaging 6.8 yards a carry. I mean, that's just ridiculous. This is why you have to use Miles Sanders. 500 yards of total offense, okay, and 364 yards of rushing. Holy crap. That's just ridiculous. I like the rotation with Kenneth Gainwell and Boston Scott. I thought they did so well, and getting them into the passing game was even better. Miles Sanders getting more into the passing game. I think that's only because that Dallas Goedert is not there. They're not putting, they're putting a little bit more on Miles Sanders, but why not? Doug used him in 2019 when he was drafted his rookie year in the passing game. And I love that, and I miss that, and Nick doesn't take advantage of that because I think Miles Sanders is a dual threat. He would have close to 1,000 yards right now. He would have close to 1,000 yards. I think he's got 757 yards on 156 attempts for 6 touchdowns, averaging the whole league in 4.9 a carry. Okay, the whole season 4.9 a carry, which is still very fantastic, okay? Thought they did really well with the running backs. Got to keep running Miles Sanders. You tired out the defense so much, they literally had the fake injuries because we were on a roll. We were tiring them out. Like, it was great. We knew that we had them. Okay, as for the receivers, Devontae Smith only had 4 catches. A.J. Brown had 4 catches. A.J. Brown is really starting to wear down on me a little bit. 2 weeks in a row, you're fumbling the football. You cannot do that. On top of not tackling the guy after he gets the fumble 50 yards downfield. I'm just, making a big deal about it. But, like a very couple things. A.J. Brown fumbling the ball, which was huge because would have scored on that. I think we could have scored another 16 points in this game. Could have scored 50 points. 50 points on the Green Bay Packers with this offense that we had. Okay, and obviously the 3rd and inches, the 4th and 1 play where they kept measuring it twice, and it was a bad handoff, or Jalen Hurts didn't get a grasp on the football fast enough, or wasn't deep into Kelsey. Pause, you know what I mean? To grab the ball and get that first down. Like, we have to clean up those little tiny things. Penalties were a lot better. There was only a couple today. I think there was only like 2 penalties, not really that much on the Eagles penalty-wise, which was a big difference from the past couple weeks, which is really good. Offensive line protection-wise was pretty good. I had no deal. Like, we talk about Devontae Smith. I wish they could do a little bit more with him. It seems like Quez Watkins is starting to get a little bit more reps here and there, which I really do like. The touchdown, had a touchdown last week, got a touchdown again. That back shoulder throw from Jalen Hurts was on the money. Perfect. Rasul Douglas is a scrub. And he started to get chirpy a little bit. He was starting to get – Miles Sanders got the first down. Rasul Douglas slapped his hand. Rasul Douglas was very pissed off. I mean, he was very salty for getting beat the whole entire day. But really after the A.J. Brown fumble, Seems like A.J. Brown got a touchdown later on, but he seemed like very deflated. But there was news coming out because of that. We all knew that he had nausea. He had a food poisoning, okay? And you don't get over food poisoning within five days. It takes a week and a half, sometimes 2 weeks. You never know. He lost 6 pounds. His eyes were all messed up, apparently. He had bloodshot eyes. His eyes were bothering him. So, I can't put too much on that, because of because of that. But at the same time, dude, you have to hold on to the football because that second catch he held on and made sure he had 2 hands on the ball. Like, he's got to protect the football. I understand he's trying to get more yards, but if you got 4 guys on you swinging their fists at where the ball is in your hands, you got to protect it, man, because now he's worrying me just a little bit. But he's got to play the Titans next week, and he might be a little pissed off going into that game. So I actually like that we have a little bit more time for A.J. Brown to have a big game in Philadelphia against his former team that wouldn't pay him that money. So it should be very interesting. Now, defensively, they have done enough. What I can't allow is that this defense cannot put too much pressure on this offense. I don't want to put it all on Jalen Hurts every single game. Okay, it's already enough. I think Jalen Hurts is, he's using his legs. They're doing a little bit more with him, but the unnecessary hits that he's taking right now is just a little too much. As much as these mobile quarterbacks will not last, he won't last getting hit like that every single week. There was a couple times where he got up a little slow. Hurts, went to the sideline as he sat down and slid, and the guy pretty much tackled him, which his whole upper body went pretty much parallel to the ground. I was a little worried about him on some of these. You're going to get late hits sometimes. It's going to happen. But I don't like for this defense to put pressure on this offense to allow Rodgers to go downfield. I mean, to a point where Aaron Rodgers couldn't even throw the ball because of that thumb injury he has. I mean, it was hurting him every single time. And then when he fell on it and it got worse after the few sacks, we had 4 sacks on Aaron Rodgers, which was great. The Eagles actually put stunts on him with Hassan Reddick and Fletcher Cox. Like, there was actually a couple stunts. That's it. That's all they really did. They did like 2 stunts. You had 2 stunts for 2 sacks in this game. And yet, you still are rushing 3 guys. When Aaron Rodgers leaves the game in the 4th quarter, they put in Jordan Love, and you're rushing 3 guys on second down. That costed them, 4 plays on a, 74-yard touchdown? I mean, he scored immediately, Christian Watson. Like, you made it look so easy. Okay, single high safety, Epps can't cover. I'll give Kevon Wallace some respect for this game because he actually made it was on a return. I think one of the kick returns probably almost went for a touchdown on more towards the other side of the field if he didn't make that tackle. I don't know if it was him. I think it could have been Nakobe Dean too. I'm not really sure, but actually deflected a ball in the end zone that could have been a touchdown. So he made a good play there. One of the only couple things that he does right. Once in a blue moon, barely even that, okay? And you know how I feel about Kevon Wallace. Reed Blankenship. Holy crap. What was he, undrafted from Duke? Showed some flashes. His tackling was amazing. This was before the A.J. Brown fumble. Reed Blankenship on that drive, okay? Reed Blankenship on that drive. He had like 3 tackles on that one drive by that Green Bay offense. I mean, he had like 3 tackles. They were fantastic. All of a sudden, Rodgers tests him downfield. He throws it. He jumps right in front of that receiver to get the pick, man. I mean, that's a really good sign that someone comes up to, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, we didn't say this on the video yet, but Chauncey Gardner-Johnson ended up getting, he made a tackle after a big reception. I think it was on Watson or Lazar. I don't know who it was at the time, but injured his rib. So his rib injury, we're going to find out what it is. He was questionable to return, so if it was really that bad, they would have kept him out, which they still kept him out of the game. But he could just have. I mean, I've seen players play on broken ribs. I mean, he could have broken ribs, but we'll see how he's doing by tomorrow. We'll find out the injury report and how long he's going to be out. So it should be really interesting. But Blankenship came right in and made tackles, got the pick, and obviously it was wasted on an A.J. Brown fumble, which really sucks because we would have scored on that drive. Like I said, we would have scored an extra 16 points on this team. Okay, I think Jake Elliott missed an extra point, no big deal. Hopefully that point wasn't going to end up haunting us in the end, but I got to say, it was like I said, the defense, it just didn't make me feel right. You're treating Jordan Love gets the ball out real quick. And what I saw from Jordan Love was pretty good, I got to say. Got the ball out quick, looked very accurate, but there was nothing there. There was no pass rush. They were giving him so much time. And that's what I'm saying about Jonathan Gannon. I don't like his style. It's nothing bad on the coach. I have nothing bad to say about him. He just has a different philosophy. I'm just not a fan of his defensive philosophy of being just passive. See, when the Eagles had a lead in the fourth quarter, I said, this guy is just going to play back, is going to react. We were getting killed on slants. How many times are we going to get killed on slants with the middle of the field wide open? Robert Quinn is on pass coverage. Robert Quinn is a no-show yet another week. You know, Hassan Reddick was actually more in coverage this game than rushing. So the defense is it's making me nervous, and I don't think it's fair to the offense that the defense is going to play like this, and it's not on the players, it's on the coach that's designating what the hell they're doing every single play. To rush 3 guys on second down against a guy that came in the game cold, and he still threw on us. He scored. I mean, they were down 2 scores, and you literally just gave him a free touchdown, pretty much. On top of special teams giving the Packers field position like 3 to 4 times. Michael Clay's got to get fired. Okay. But overall, you scored 40 points on a team. Okay. I was fearful a little bit going to this game because Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. At the end of the day, as bad as that team is playing, has a lot of new pieces around him. And I thought, there was just points in the game where Aaron Rodgers was starting to die down a little bit because his hand was killing him. That guy was not going to throw 10 yards. He was throwing screen pass to A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones. It was nonstop, and some of these holes were wide open. And I loved it. There was a sack from Brandon Graham. There was a Cox and Reddick sack. There was a few of them which I really did like. There was one where Ndamukong Suh got pressured and Josh Sweat got the sack. So there was good things taken out of it. But, man, if this team, statistically, they'd be the number 1 defense, statistically, if Gannon grew a pair of balls. And that's just the truth. Like I said for the 5th time, I don't think it's fair that the defense is going to put too much pressure on the offense like that. I don't like that. The defense has got to pull their weight in some ways. And giving up points like that, I don't know how you go into a playoff game this year and you're going to play like this. Like, I say this every single video, every single live stream, live play-by-play, whatever the case may be, whenever you watch me, okay? I say this all the time. And Gannon, that's going to be the weakness of this team going into the playoffs. It's going to be him. Okay, it's not going to be the offense. And look, the offense has struggled. Okay, the offense had to clean up, and I thought they really had a good game. Besides the A.J. Brown fumble, the 3rd and 1, 4th and inches play that they couldn't get past, which I don't know. They do this in their sleep when it's 3rd and short, 4th and short. They went on 4th down, 2-3 times today. So, I mean, using Jalen Hurts' legs just a little bit more so they add that diversity to that offense and give you a different look with Dallas Goedert not being there. So you're using Miles Sanders and the running backs more in the passing game now, which I really do like. But it's not fair that this defense is going to play so passive and then put too much pressure on that offense. And so far, Jalen Hurts is undefeated, really, in these close games. You know what I mean? Other than like the Washington game, really, because it wasn't on him with some of those plays. It was on the players. Obviously the fumble to Dallas Goedert with the face mask that caused the fumble. And obviously, the Quez Watkins fumble that game. Jalen Hurts has been A1 GOAT. No joke. He's been a monster. He's been what I wanted him to be. And I'm glad he is this season. I didn't think the Eagles would be 10-1. If you asked me before the season started, there was a lot of wins in that win column going into this schedule that we're playing right now, but I got to tell you, I didn't think that we'd get to this point. And I'm glad we are. And Jalen Hurts, it's getting closer to where, Jalen Hurts is the guy, and Jalen Hurts is, we're kind of waiting on what this contract is going to look like because of it's just how he runs this offense and the amount of, talent he has around him, the offensive line. Jason Kelce having a monster day today on some of these blocks are just ridiculous. Okay, other than having an eligible man downfield, and that was on Samal. I thought the offensive line protection was fine. He got sacked, 2-3 times today and still won the game. You know what I mean? So he got rid of the ball. He didn't take sacks that were unnecessary. Like, there's some he just can't control because where he can throw and, depending on where those guys are in his face, or if he could even have time to throw the ball out of bounds. But there were a few times he was perfectly fine. So if you want me the bitch about the offense, I have nothing to say about it. I thought they ran the ball so freaking well, man. And look what you did to that defense. You tired them out, and then you kind of mixed in the pass a little bit. And, yeah, that's what happens when you run the ball with Miles Sanders and they use him as that workload, that workload, I can't talk today, that workload horseback that he is, and then kind of sprinkle a little Boston Scott, sprinkle a little Kenneth Gainwell in there. There's so many other things you could do. So at the end of the day, the Eagles win 40-33. They're 10-1. I just didn't like Gannon's. I just don't like his scheme. I'm probably going to say this every single week, so it's going to get tiresome every single week. But I am telling you right now, since I say it in every video, and I will take clips out of every video, if we lose in a playoff game, if we're one and done, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but that man is what's making me afraid going into the playoffs. Not the players, not necessarily the offense, that defense and that coordinator. You brought in help, and you still look the same. So I have to realize this for myself, that Gannon is not going to change. And that's just the truth to it all. They bring in Marcus Brady to help out. They bring in an offensive guy to help with the defense. Vic Fangio as a consultant, I don't see his any type of handprints all over this defense. So I don't know what the hell's going on. Has Gannon been reprimanded yet? And when we were 8-0 and we were winning every single game, that man wasn't talked to. As long as we were winning games, Philly didn't mess with it. I doubt it. I don't think they've talked to him at all. I think they gave him some help, but that was really it. I don't think they said, "Oh, you need to change it." Maybe a couple things were said, but I highly doubt. I didn't like it. I think the one thing that really pissed me off, two things that really pissed me off, and I already kind of mentioned it already. One, if Aaron Rodgers is that hurt in a game, take the freaking kill shot. Take the kill shot. Like, if he's struggling to where he's throwing these wide screens to Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, and he's doing nothing, he can't even throw 10 yards at this point, put pressure on him. Because every time he throws the football, he's so uncomfortable because his thumb is killing him so much. You got to take advantage of that. And I'm not saying, let the guy be hurt. The guy's hurt. But if a guy's hurt, you got to take advantage of it. That's just the way it is. And you got to rush him. And then, obviously, when Jordan Love came into the game, holy crap, I didn't expect a quick touchdown like that. I didn't expect that at all. But hasn't even played all year. Like, second down, and you rush three guys, and it's like a 74-yard. Really, 74 yards and 3-4 plays? That's ridiculous. Could have wasted more time on the clock if you played basic D. That's just too much open space, man. Marcus Epps on the single high safety coverage. He can't cover. And Reed Blankenship, the game ball goes to him because I'm telling you right now, sorry, Marcus Epps, he could walk. I'm signing Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, which there are rumors of that. And on top of everything else, Reed Blankenship might be your next safety next to him. He might be better. It wasn't just one pick and that was it. He was making tackle after tackle after tackle. He got a penalty, which I really didn't care about. He had a unnecessary roughness penalty, which I really didn't care for. But that guy showed up, not just from a pick. Guy getting a pick is okay. Like, Josiah Scott got a pick, but he's not a great player. It was just a good deflection by Slay. Good coverage on Slay, by Slay. But Reed Blankenship, you might have something there. And he might play next week. I think Kevon Wallace, Reed Blankenship started from the beginning, obviously from when he came out, and Kevon Wallace got some reps if they do, 3 safety sets or whatever they do there for certain situations, which is fine. Kevon Wallace, deflected a touchdown. That would have been a touchdown. The ball was caught and knocked it right out upon the completion. So overall, the offense was what I dreamed and hoped it would be. This is how I want this offense to be run every single week. Miles Sanders needs to just get – Miles Sanders can run the ball over 22 times if they really wanted. But I don't want – they don't have to do that. But 17 to 20, 21 times, I'm perfectly fine with that. The past 3-4 weeks, they have done nothing with Miles Sanders in the first half. They've been too pass happy, and yeah, you're gonna with that offensive line, take advantage of it, man. Take advantage of it. So other than that, that's pretty much it. That's what I got to say about the win. It's a great win. It's fantastic. Eagles are still up in the NFC East. Eagles are still up in the NFC. You have the Titans next week at home. Should be a big homecoming. Obviously, not a homecoming, but a big game for A.J. Brown. Once he feels a lot better, so he'll probably get a couple rest days, this week probably before that game, and hopefully he will get better. So, loved what they did offensively. Defense, they did what they had to do. They made plays. They got pressure when they had to, but they're making it way too easy statistically for these quarterbacks to just throw on us like it's nothing. And obviously A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones had some runs on us today. We did. They had some good runs on us. There were some open holes up the middle, which, you had no linebackers. It was a free hole up the middle. You're not stacking the box. I mean, it's the same thing. Did he make changes a little bit? You did 2 stunts for 2 sacks in this game. I mean, God, just imagine if you do that all the time. But he's not that type of coach. I just have to realize that it's just not. I'm going to complain about it every week, but it's just not the type of coach. And I hope he's not going to be the death of our season come playoffs. That's all I got to say about it. So you guys have a fantastic day. I hope everybody enjoys this win. And like I said, people are going to go in the comment section. We're 10-1. Yeah, trust me, we're 10-1, and I can't believe I'm even saying anything bad about this team. I shouldn't be. That's the whole reason. But we've earned this 10-1. There's nothing wrong with Gannon. I don't hate Gannon. He's just a different coach. His philosophy. I'm not a fan of it. I'm just not. Okay, I love Jim Schwartz. Obviously I didn't like how he ran the secondary. It's just things just have to change defensively, but I don't think it's going to be. We'll have updates on other Eagles news and stuff in the coming days of what's going on with these injuries and all that other great stuff. So other than that, I'll see you guys on the next one. Link in the description. Who did you give the game balls to? What did you think about the Eagles defense in this game? I want to hear everybody's comments about this because I think it's really important. I'm not trying to downplay this team. I'm not trying to be depressing or anything like that. There's always something to talk about with this team. No team is perfect in the NFL. Every team makes mistakes. We're never going to have a perfect game. Always one little mistake is going to happen, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're human beings, for God's sakes, playing football. So I will see you guys on the next one. You guys have a fantastic day. SHAKESQUAD up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.